that was quite a collision. It was such a physical game. It was a rugged game. And the one thing I took away from that is Malcolm and London are tough. Those guys are tough for Malcolm to come back and play. And the guys gutted out a victory. And, London, that's always scary when you see that. And he was down for a while. And then, obviously, you got the gash, so there was a lot of blood. I was certainly concerned. And we'll find out. London, I think as we speak, around 1, he was going to be getting looked at by our doctors and seeing where he's at. So I don't have an update until I know, and I'm, like I said, very curious and hopeful that everything will be good. But scary moment there, but I liked how the guys responded because we had to gut it out, and they did that.
London wanted to come back in the game?
That's what Ethan said. I think he asked, which, that would have been interesting, as I said, to see that. Because I couldn't tell. They had the iodine on his nose from the cut, and everything looked a little off. So I don't know if it was just from the iodine and the cut, or it looked pretty swollen. But as I said, those are two tough hombres, and I liked what I see in them and the guys, the way they responded. That's the way it has to be. And they certainly showed some toughs.
His teammates say he has a broken nose. Would he have to play with like a mask, maybe?
It just depends. Again, they'll look at that. Actually, he broke his nose earlier in the year. A lot of guys break their nose, and it just depends how severe, what they have to do. You can play with or without a mask, depending upon the severity and what you do with it. Sometimes you can wait till the season's done to get it set. But again, I couldn't tell with the cut how it just everything was a little distorted. So I would assume, like I said, that it probably is cracked. But I think we got a few guys with cracked noses.
We talked about this with Evan when Justin went down, but obviously circumstances aren't ideal. But what kind of an opportunity now is this for some of the younger guys to step?
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. I mean, we'll wait and see how much. Yeah. But you saw it in the game. Devin Hall gave us a nice drive and finish, and a nice pass, got some valuable minutes. Isaiah's been getting more opportunities. Marielle, those are important minutes for everybody. And, I really do believe as they get this experience in these settings, it's, when we get everybody healthy, that will add to the quality of the depth and the experience that these guys have, and even for their futures for next year. So, obviously you want everybody healthy, and it's not ideal, but you take it as it comes. And then, the guys that are the experienced guys that are here, we rally around them and keep getting those young guys more and more experience in settings that are beneficial for them. And, hopefully we can keep, like I said, hanging on.
Do you have an update on how Justin's doing right now?
He's progressing. Besides, he's continuing to, they put him in a different splint, and he's starting his rehab, and, everything so far looks good. So I'm hoping sooner than later, but we'll get him back when he's ready, as soon as we can, but as safe as we can. I think that will always be the case. But, certainly it'll be a welcome addition.
Wake Forest gave you a pretty tough game
they
just
did.
a week ago. Now you got them again.
Absolutely. They're very, any team at this time of the year in the ACC, they're just hard-fought games, and we were fortunate to come away with a victory. They really they got it. They shot it well from 3. They hurt us in some areas, so we've got to be sharper, certainly. And then you're going into their place where they've been very good. They've played everybody either victoriously or to the wire, very good teams. So you just step up. We try to make some good adjustments in the next 2 days, and know we'll go into a place that's certainly rowdy, and they got a Harley Davidson that gets revved up for the starting lineups every time. That is unmistakable.
In your opinion, is it beneficial to play an opponent so quickly and consecutive like this?
I guess there are some things that are beneficial because it's fresh in your mind where they hurt you and some things you did to them. So hopefully there's not as much time to make these major adjustments, but it's fresh in your mind, those areas. So I think there are some advantages to it. But again, with us playing, a lot of games in a short amount of time, it's just being as ready as you can, and hopefully, like I said, you're as healthy as you can be.
How small is especially looking at that first Wake game as an example, the margin for error in this league, especially this time of year? How small is it?
Well, I think it's very small, and I even think for us, I talk about that all the time. We play it pretty close to that line, and that's why, our decision making, the soundness, fortunately dodged a bullet with missing the free throws we did in the game, but all that stuff matters. And at this stage, it's, I talk about it is how much you want it, but it's some teams can erase some of those mistakes they make by just going and making all these one-on-one plays and getting baskets like that. and some teams don't have that luxury. And we have guys who can do things, but we're not wired quite like that or built like that. So knowing that is half the battle, and then trying to be as execution oriented and as sound and as tough, which we have that part down. Really, it proves to be valuable down the stretch and in these tight games because there's just not a lot of separation.
Coach, you talked about getting some contributions from younger guys as well as experienced guys. What has Darian brought you specifically? You know, he had those 2 big buckets after the collision. What has he brought as far as being the only senior who's really getting the playing time? Yeah,
no, Darian, those were 2 big baskets. He really, I just talked about this. I can't remember if it was on the ACC teleconference or the NBC interview before, but it's there's a guy I use Jerome Mienzi as an example. I use Mustafa Farrakhan, guys that maybe their career didn't go quite like they thought it would right away. They didn't get everything they wanted, but they just kind of remained. They stayed patient, and weren't always they probably were frustrated at times, but they kept working to improve. Darian had a really good offseason, and now he's enjoying some individual success, team success, and he's been patient enough to wait and get this opportunity. And I think that's a powerful message, that if you really are willing to wait, you're going to improve. It's just how it works. As you get older and more mature and you put the time in, and we're seeing that play out before our very eyes. And you know, that's not easily accepted in today's society with young people. It's sort of, you know, it's got to happen right now, but it doesn't work that way in life. And I think he's showing, boy, I just have stayed in there, and he's doing some good things. And he's really been I don't even want to say a pleasant surprise, but he's been such a valuable piece this year and has improved. And I'm excited for him, for his future, all those things.
What are the biggest things that he's brought to the court so far this year?
Yeah, well, on the court, you know, his athleticism, his ability to guard the ball screen. Last night he did a great job of corralling the ball handler, timing on blocking shots, and then, you know, seeing some of those moves. He's got good touch. He's quick off the floor. He spun around a couple times, got big buckets, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. A lot of those X-factor things that you just have to have. And I think he's done that in stretches that have been important. And, you know, we needed every bit of it last night and at different times. And again, whether it was him or someone else stepping up, that's been a storyline a lot this year. But specifically with him, really gratifying for me as a coach to see him taste the success and some of the things that he has this year when it wasn't quite as smooth sailing as, again, all of us had hoped it would be from, you know, his first year on.
Can you tell me some of the little things you can do to bother a shooter like Middleglue, who has such a high release?
Yeah, really, and he doesn't drop it. It's off quick. Trying to be there quicker. You know, a lot of things they do, they've got a great ball handler who's really good, and Cody Miller-McIntyre, who makes plays. But I thought some of our rotations were a little slow when we played him. We allowed him to get those shots where he had, you know, a moment to really eye up the rim, get his rhythm and shoot it. We got to try to close down that time to the best of our abilities, but realize you got other stuff. You know, they got some other players around it. If it was just him, okay, maybe, but you got the guy in the post, Devin Thomas, the double-double machine. You got Cody Miller-McIntyre. You got guys flanked who can shoot and play. So they do a real good job with their scheme offensively, and you know, Coach Manning with their NBA, some of their NBA ball screen sets. It puts a premium on your execution, and we just have to do it a little better than we did last time.
Hey, Coach, Comcast Sportsnet wanted me to ask you about Klay Thompson. You've probably watched him a little bit on TV. He's made himself into a pretty good player in the NBA.
Yeah, no, Klay is kind of I think is a real special story. No Pac-10, it was the Pac-10 at the time I was there, schools recruited him or offered him a scholarship, and we were at Washington State, and we just saw something in him. I think he had a couple offers. I think Notre Dame and Michigan were his 2 visits, and then he came to Washington State, and being from the West Coast, we liked our chances. But you talk about a guy I just referenced, talk about a guy that improved and showed flashes of it his freshman year in college with us, then just got better, and then kept taking it to another level. Amazing. But he had that beautiful stroke, 6'7", could elevate, great bloodlines from his father. Really a hard worker, kind of a quiet guy. It's kind of been neat to see him mature even and come out of his shell that way. But you just see those flashes where he'd do some special things, take over stretches of games at UCLA in these settings where you're like, he's going to be good. Now, did I imagine he'd be an all-star or score, what did he score, 47 or 37 in a quarter or whatever his record was. I didn't maybe forecast all that, but so happy for him, and comes from a great family. And again, he didn't have many stars behind his name. He wasn't a McDonald's All-American. He just kept getting better, and I think those are great stories for like the young athletes to see. Like, it's not where you start, it's where you finish.